Welcome to the Uncultured Rules Podcast. Welcome to the Uncultured Rules Podcast. I'm Brother 17.
It's your man H.M. Hersham Bawu. What up? What up?
And it's your man Chief Fly. What up, though, my babies?
And as you can see, we have a special guest with us today. He's been on the show before, Mr. Jerome Washington. How you doing,
good
sir?
with it. Yes, I was good with it. I'm happy to be back. It's been a long time.
Yeah, man.
What up, though?
How are things over there in Poland, brother?
How are things? Cold as hell.
Same here.
Same here.
But honestly, though, it's really good. Everything is okay given the circumstances. You know, the war in Ukraine is still going on.
Yeah.
Wishing nothing but safety for all my friends who are there. But aside from that, you know, everything is just really chilled. Yesterday, my school had their prom. We call it Studniutka, but we had our prom yesterday.
Hold on. You said you got to pronounce that again.
Oh, Studniutka?
Fanuka.
No, not
Fanuka.
No, Studniutka.
Stunufka.
There you go. We're speaking Polish.
Yeah.
All right now.
Yeah, that's why I actually
International, baby.
because I want people to learn something new.
Right.
For sure.
I'm glad you did that.
Not a problem. It's all good.
Oh man. So beside it being cold, you know, because it's cold as shit here, have you? I guess I want to ask: has anything changed since the last time we spoke to you?
Yeah.
For myself, I would say my mindset has changed. You know, definitely as I was approaching the end of the year, when it just comes to kind of letting go of a lot of negativity, a lot of hate, a lot of jealousy, things of that nature. A lot has changed definitely in terms of that. When it comes to like work, my mindset towards that. One of you mentioned the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I actually had a chance to finally read it like through and through. And a piece of that book definitely changed my life. I definitely don't agree with everything in the book, like especially when it comes to like real estate, because I'm not really into that, to be fair. But as far as like the financial literacy is concerned, like that has definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things.
Yep.
When it comes to the country itself, Poland, yeah, of course, when it comes to the war, even though we're not necessarily in it, you know, we're still like we're bordering Ukraine, so that's going to always play a factor into things. So just me looking at my approach when it comes to humanity and everything that's going on, and it really amplified after I went to Auschwitz because, to be fair, at first, you know, I would see posts about the war in Ukraine and things of that nature, and I'll be honest, it kind of goes in my head and it will stay there for a little bit, but then, you know, with football season, things like that, I focus more on that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And then after seeing everything, I've doing a study guide at Auschwitz and, you know, seeing everything pretty much all day. Now, when I see posts about Ukraine or I see posts about the war, it really sticks with me because now it's like, you know, that's what's more important to me right now. Just more focused on what's going on in my surroundings in the world and not necessarily, oh, who scored that touchdown or, oh, this person's getting this millions and things
So
of that
you would say that it kind of gave you some perspective into like kind of see what's important and what's not in life.
Oh, yes. Honestly, I know earlier I did say it's cold, but to be truthful, the cold is no longer cold after my experience at Auschwitz. Like knowing what happened to the people there, and not even just like, oh, okay, Germans this or Jews that, but just humanity. After seeing all that, like it really changed my life, like honestly. And a lot of that hatred that I had, even though it was already gone, now it's just evaporated completely because of that place. So yeah.
That's pretty deep, brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
Yeah, man, you know, my little running nickname for you, International Rome, man. You didn't done more in your life than fucking I probably ever will in my lifetime. So, you know, going to all the places you've been, and man, I'm just proud of you from that same young man I saw when you was here in Detroit, and you
Yeah,
know, you've grown a lot since then, man, and I'm
definitely.
proud of you, brother. So
I'm proud of all of
don't ever
y'all.
forget that, man.
Proud of all of y'all with the podcast, making it happen. I'm pretty sure those first few episodes, probably people was just like, man, even in that podcast, they're gonna do nothing. Oh man, blah blah blah, haters and whatnot. But y'all still
Man,
standing, you're still going strong.
fuck them people.
Yeah, we still
Exactly.
get a little bit of that now, but it's okay. All right, so we're gonna just dive in and jump into the show. For our Detroit tap in this week, unfortunately, you know, I be wanting to have like good news stories out of Detroit, but you know, this one everybody was talking about it, and it's very unfortunate that this happened. And so 3 missing rappers were found dead in Highland Park. For those who not from Detroit, Highland Park is not far from Detroit, basically right next to Detroit. It
It's
pretty much is
basically
Detroit.
inside of Detroit
Yeah,
city within the city. Yeah.
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 So it's a hood within a hood. So everybody from here know what Highland Park is. So
Shout out to HP.
shout out to HP, definitely. So I'm gonna share the screen here, and then we're going to get right to the clip.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
We're going to start Local 4 News at 6 with breaking news from Highland Park, where 3 bodies have been found inside an apartment building.
Jacqueline Francis is live. Jacqueline, this may be connected to the search for those 3 rappers who disappeared almost 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, we're getting more information by the minute here. You can see it's still a very active scene. We've got the main crime scene over here, but first I want to start with 2 state police troopers. They're right there talking with a gentleman on the scene here. You can look over here, and this is where the police tape is. Police sources say they believe the bodies found are those of the missing rappers. We've also learned that police have reached out to the mother of one of those missing rappers to alert her of the discovery of the bodies. The 3 rappers have been missing since January 21st. They were supposed to perform at a Detroit club, but the performance was canceled. That's when they disappeared. We've been reporting on this all week, and again, it was just this evening that we found out that 3 bodies were discovered in an abandoned apartment building, and police sources are telling us that they believe those bodies are those of the missing rappers. Again, still a very active scene. Michigan State Police is assisting DPD on this investigation, and they recently just tweeted out that they're waiting on getting a search warrant so that they can go in and search the abandoned apartment building. So again, you can see new information developing pretty much every minute here. We'll stay on scene and bring you the latest. Reporting live, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4. Yeah.
So
Shout out to Local 4.
yep.
I'm trying to make sure they get their credit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's around the corner from my auntie house. I know where that's at.
Yeah.
So basically, they were supposed to go to a show and they didn't make it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I was seeing. I didn't realize that story had been out for a couple weeks that they were missing, and I guess they just found them the other day, and
Damn.
it's pretty sad, man. It's unfortunate that. Well, I mean, I'm gonna let you guys chime in on that. Well,
I mean, it's not really much detail, that they know of right now. They still investigating, so we don't know, what was behind it.
yeah.
But somehow, turn around. Yeah, it gotta be something.
Gotta be something.
Like an inside thing, something like that, because it's 3 people, so.
Yeah, could have
Like 3
been some
bodies.
drug deal type
Right.
shit going wrong, or
Right,
that's what it is a lot of times. But
So
Yeah.
what I'm trying to figure, they found them together, so all 3 of them know each other.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
think
they
so.
perform together, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. you gotta look at who don't like them.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And
Some gang-related stuff, or
Yeah, it's usually
family
some
dispute.
street beef or drugs. That's usually what it is.
Yeah.
Or robbery going wrong or something.
It really be anything. It could be over a chick.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
True.
Yeah, at this point is we kind of speculating because, like you say, we don't have all the information, and the only, like I say, just in case you guys didn't see it in the video, the names are Armani Kelly, Dante Wicker, and Montoya Givens.
Yeah, because I don't know why they just keep calling them 3 rappers.
Yeah, they have names.
Yeah.
Like they ain't human beings.
Come on
It's
now.
3 rappers.
See,
They people,
man.
right?
Now, Channel 4, man, y'all need to do better because, not to discredit them, I don't even think that they well-known rappers like that.
Yeah,
So,
right.
just instead of this narrative of rappers, because it seems like y'all trying to twist the narrative where it's rapper on rapper.
Yeah.
Once you stop that and just focus on this is 3 people who got killed.
3 victims.
Yep.
So let me center this back to the guest. Rome, what? I just want you to give your experience, man. Like, what does crime look like over there?
Crime these days, you have a lot of theft, I would say, but just petty theft, like stealing, food products, things of that nature. I think I read a story maybe day before yesterday, just about some guy getting into some fights or things of that nature. You don't really have we don't have guns in Poland, so you'll never hear anything about a shooting or anything of that nature. You may have an occasional auto theft or things of that nature, but those are far and few between. You may have the occasional actually there was a story about a woman, married couple, getting into a fight. The woman got arrested though, actually, because it was her fault.
Wow.
That was actually
Sound different. That sounds different.
I think I need to come over there.
But to be fair though, there was also a flip story where, which is unfortunate, but a man, they were married as an ex-couple, but the woman moved on. She got her new boyfriend, everything like that. But the ex came over to their house. I think he actually smashed the dude's head in with the hammer.
Jesus.
She was in a critical condition as well, but yeah, the guy got arrested for that. So you do have some kind of I wouldn't even call it a love triangle because they broke up, and according to the report, and she moved on, and he just, I guess, couldn't handle it. Right. So you get stuff like that, unfortunately. I think the only other you get a lot of suicide type vibes every now and then, because I do remember a case where it's believed to be a murder suicide where he killed the father. He was supposed to bring the child home, and he never came back home with the little girl. Went to the forest, killed her, and then he hung himself. So you get occasional, not all the time, but occasional stories like that, which again is unfortunate. But other than that, you don't really hear too much else about crime like that, because it's just really. I'm not saying there's not much to do or there's not much going on or crime doesn't happen, but it's not on a magnitude as it would be in the States. And I don't want to sit here and act because people ask me all the time, oh, Detroit's a lot of murders or things of that nature. Or, oh yeah, Detroit this, or the State's that.
It ain't just Detroit.
Right. Not even that. It's just come on now. We got Poland, which is a small country compared to the United States, which is a massive country. Yeah. So, we can't act oh, it's so much murder. Of course, there's going to be a lot more murder in the States because there's a lot more people.
Yeah.
Not to mention the access to, firearms and things.
Everybody armed.
I don't think I've ever lived in a country where there weren't guns.
Yeah, if you want to get into something, you're gonna need to use these fists. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I ain't worried about that. It's just
old-fashioned.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Yeah.
That's a good thing.
We
Yeah.
can't use fists over here.
Right.
I mean, we can. People don't got no
Right.
self control on using the
Right.
fist. They so I gotta grab this pistol. So
Yeah.
Right. Honestly, it's just like, plus when it comes to like Polish police or things of that nature, it's kind of like one of those situations where you don't really want to get mixed in because, I mean, it's not like the courts in the States where, yeah, you got the jury and things of that nature. In my opinion, the judge is the judge, jury, and executioner.
Oh
And,
shit.
Oh, wow.
you pretty much did something, you're gonna be doing that time. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have a good lawyer, and at the end of the day, the judge is gonna be like, well, this is this is that, do widzenia, which is meaning
Mm.
goodbye. And you're gonna be doing that time. You
he
know what I'm
said
saying?
goodbye.
Go Virginia.
Mm.
Hirsch
Yeah.
gonna use that shit in a bar one day.
Go Virginia.
Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, I just
Totally.
don't get mixed up in the courts. You really don't, and because
Yeah,
court
yeah.
cases will take forever. So it's like just like in the States, it's a backlog of waiting a year or 2 years to get your case and things of that nature. So it's like you just don't want to get mixed in legally. So yeah.
I'm happy you over there keeping your head down. I mean, that's how you was here. You never got mixed in with all of the and you were in the neighborhood where you could definitely get mixed
Yeah,
into some things.
that's
And
what they
I know about that area,
yeah.
so but
Mhm.
you definitely kept your head down and made sure you stayed safe and
What's up?
you street smart and you knew how to survive and you knew what to avoid and I'm just glad you don't have to deal with all of that over there now. I mean, it's kind of something that I'm pretty sure that never leaves. You never let your guard down completely, I'm sure.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. But yeah, you definitely. But I've never ever had this feeling of like having to look over my shoulder or be afraid or anything of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Because I take care of my business. I keep to myself. Like, not saying I'm like alone, like don't talk to me type vibe, but everyone's just in their own zone. And as long as you ain't doing nothing too extra, you're gonna be all right. Like
Yeah.
I really have nothing to worry about here. Like when it comes to Julia, my daughter,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to worry about her safety or nothing like that because I know she's gonna be okay. And I know that sometimes maybe as she's getting older and she's starting to see that, okay, she's a bit darker than her colleagues, and it's not really a racial thing or whatever. But I know that it may come up for her every now and then, but she knows that she's 100% Polish. I mean, well, half American, half Polish, but
Yeah.
she knows that she's Polish through and through,
Yeah.
and she doesn't have to face any like ridicule because of the color of her skin or nothing like that. So,
Well, yeah, we're definitely gonna get into that topic later on, but
mhm.
just to bring it back, definitely, man. R.I.P. to Armani Kelly, Dante Wicker, and Montoya Givens. Again, at this moment, at the time of this recording, none of us we don't know exactly if they may have been mixed up in anything or not, and so we don't want to prejudge and speculate too hard into it. But this is definitely something that people in the Detroit area are talking about because it's just
It's been this way since I can remember. We've been hearing stories like this, so
and
gotta tread lightly. Watch the people you're around. You know
I
what I'm
feel like
saying? Watch what you get involved in.
I feel like we talked about another story like this on the prior episode.
Yeah, I'm sure we have.
I mean, it happens so much, unfortunately. So again, definitely RIP to these brothers, and for anybody on the outside looking, us as black people, we don't like when this stuff happens either. It's not like we want this shit to happen. We don't like this. We don't like it either. So I don't know, man. Everybody's giving their final thoughts on this unfortunate subject.
Ain't
just
nothing to talk about. Ain't nothing.
Prayers to the family. That's victims involved. To the victims, not the rappers, the victims.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Language is important, and you would know.
Definitely.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next topic. Again, I'm sorry I have to put you through this, Rome, but, you used to live here in the state. You got me calling it the States now. You used to live here in America, and, and the crimes just get crazy and crazier. And this one, usually the running joke in America is, man from Florida, nothing else needs to be said. It's like, we already know. Man from Florida, nothing else to be said. We already get it. This one particularly happened in Ohio, which I'm going to keep my personal comments to myself about Ohio. So anyhow, I'm going to share this clip, and yeah.
Police in Ohio have released body cam footage involving an officer who had an altercation with a woman outside a McDonald's in Dayton. Now, this incident is said to have started over missing cheese on a Big Mac. Lawyers for the victim saying the situation escalated to a point where a Butler Township police officer punched their client several times in the face. NBC News reporter Maya Eaglin is following the story and joins us now. So, Maya, first walk us through how this all started.
So, Aaron, officials say Lentika Hancock ordered a burger with extra cheese from McDonald's, and when she realized her order was incorrect, she went back into the restaurant to complain. The employees then called the police, and officers confronted her in the parking lot. Hancock's lawyers say the officers did not properly de-escalate the situation and instead assaulted Hancock, leaving her with several injuries.
Sergeant Stanley deserves to be fired and charged with assault for his outrageous overreaction. The way he handled Ms. Hancock was despicable. He wasn't humane to her.
A lot of frustration here as this unfolds. Aaron.
So what are police saying about this altercation, as we're calling it, Maya?
So police say they are investigating the incident and they have placed the officer involved on leave, but they aren't discussing this case with the media until all of the videos are processed and reviewed. Also, the NAACP has stepped in and is also asking for the officers involved to step down and be charged. Aaron.
And do we know, Maya, at this point, how Hancock is doing? How's her recovery going?
So according to her lawyer, she spent the night in the hospital after the altercation. Her team says she suffered from an internal head injury and also had a busted lip and loose teeth after the incident. She's been released from the hospital, but is still limping and has a back injury.
I almost lost my life behind it. The reason why I said, I'm going to be quiet now. I'm going to stand up. I'm not going to be George Floyd. They're not going to get me on the ground. They're not going to attack me.
So we'll be keeping an eye on all these developments, Aaron.
Maya Eaglin for us today. Maya, thank you.
So, the floor is you fellas.
Whole thing that's disheartening, it's definitely not easy, to talk about. And honestly, it kind of makes a lot of good police officers' jobs difficult. The situation you said was in Ohio. And I got a good friend of mine who lives in Ohio who's a police officer. And, he definitely doesn't condone these actions or anything of the sort. And in situations like this, that will continue to have a lot of people not trusting the police and stuff like that. In that video, you see it clear as day. And then when people get put on quote unquote administrative leave and we're investigating, it's like, what's to investigate? You see it right there.
Right.
That's where a lot of frustration comes from when it comes to the mistrust in the police. If I were to do something like that, and I'm on the clock, I'm fired. Ain't no paid leave, none of that. So, what is there really to investigate, And that's what makes it really frustrating, because it's just like, there was no need for that kind of force. There was no need for any of that type of use. Never mind, a man putting his hands on a woman that's already in handcuffs or in the process of being cuffed.
Yeah.
So it's just like, come on now, enough is enough. And it's just really tiring to have to keep saying the same thing. Like, we got to stop it. We got to stop this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just no words on that, honestly.
Yeah, I think you said it all. Like the same type of situations keep happening, and people keep saying we need police reform. They need to be trained a different way. They need to be vetted. Psychological evaluations and all that stuff. You're dealing with people. And it just seemed like they just you don't look at it as another human being. It's just somebody who's not cooperating with you. So you're gonna do whatever it takes to make them cooperate. Like, what if this was your auntie, your cousin? How would you handle her? You should handle that lady the same way.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I say, I mentioned it. What was the last episode? That police need a better relationship with the communities that they police. I can't say that enough. Like, you can't. To me, I believe that they already go in, and this don't even matter about race, whether they black or white. I believe that they go in already having preconceived notions about these people that they supposed to serve and protect already. So they want to already use crazy force on them off rip. And
I don't think they taught to serve and protect. They just taught to police them.
Well, to get some history, police really never was really about, securing the neighborhood and people. It's more about property. You know what I mean? Make sure the property not damaged and everything like that. So they end up calling themselves, as time went by, as, we serve protect. Well, if that's what it is, then that's what it really need to be. Why are we paying tax to these people that's whooping our ass? That don't make sense.
That's a very, very, very valid question. I found myself asking that all the time. Like, what the hell are we doing? Our tax dollars pay your salary. And don't get me wrong, I get it. It sounds good in theory. You're supposed to serve and protect. I get it. And I've heard police officers say this, like, it's everybody's, all of us, they would look at all of us like you guys are just armchair quarterback in the conversation. You're not out here on the streets. You're not out here dealing with what we got to deal with. And it's like, look, we understand. Look, we live in these streets too. We see what you have to deal with. We obviously don't have to deal with it the way you do, but don't think we shielded from seeing these crazy ass people. Shit, we got to deal with them too.
Shit, I got an uncle that was on the police force for, I know, over like 15, 20 years. So it ain't like I'm just saying shit on them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And, we brought up, I think we was off recording when we were talking about this, about guns. Ron was saying how there ain't really no guns over there.
Yeah.
But, one of the things that police say that they having problems with is people having firearms. Well, I will challenge them to think like this. Maybe because people don't trust the police that they really police themselves, they get firearms. So now there's more firearms on the streets because people feel like, well, shit, I'd rather have it myself than dealing with police who don't fuck with me at all anyway. So why would I,
kill me?
deal with them? Yeah.
Right.
Well, I can be honest with the group and the audience. That's my rationale. I mean, because you look at it from the perspective of when something's happening, seconds count. Every second counts, and a minute in a situation is a lifetime. You waiting for the police to get there in minutes when, God forbid, you got somebody trying to break in your shit now. You know what I'm saying? You know how long it's going to take y'all to get to here? We're probably not going to be alive by the time you get here. So I agree with that, Fly. I understand the rationale and the reasoning of, because shit, that's why I did it. That's why I went and got it.
Think about it. You got it in a lawful way. It's people going, because they had the same mind frame that I'm talking about, they get it illegally.
Yeah.
Just to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, I don't think people from outside of where we come from, I don't think they really understand that, these people are doing illegal things to get pistols. Sometimes it ain't to be knocking people over or robbing people. They just, maybe they had a time in prison before, they done changed their life, but they still don't trust the police, so they get it illegally. It's all different type of scenarios to how that could happen, but I think they should think about that.
That's a good point.
True, and it's really unfortunate too that even when you do have a legal firearm, that you can still get caught up, especially like in Florida with the whole stand your ground law. Because I've read it in situations where like, okay, someone, you know, robs you or break into your house dead of night. You know, I think I've read a case where African American man, he shot and killed the perpetrator, and the victim in this case still got charged with murder. You know, they tried to put it like, oh, well, you know, did you give a warning shot? Did you call the police and things of that nature? They put all these like what's the point of having this in Florida, you know, that stand your ground law, if you're not going to enforce it fairly? Because I remember also in Florida, you know, a white man had a similar situation, a burglar, killed the person. Okay, it's all good, stand your ground. Okay, understood. So why is it that when he did it,
you know why?
it's okay, but I'm black, and you know, oh, you parties. Oh, did you call the police
I'm
first?
supposed to do a warning shot.
No, you
That's a
can't even.
warning shot.
You can't even do a warning shot. There was oh Christ, I forget the case, but there was a woman who did that. She shot a warning shot, and they arrested her for that.
Wow.
They arrested her for, it was a black woman. She did a warning shot because her husband was beating her ass.
So okay, so what was she supposed to shoot this nigga?
Supposed to wait till you.
I mean, she better off shooting him.
Right.
It's like
you gotta wait till but he's choking you and you almost black out. Then you can shoot him.
The law is die first and then
right.
you'll get
You can
justice.
shoot him.
The fuck?
It's crazy.
They gotta make it more clear cut on what you could do and what you can't do.
Yeah.
Well,
with that type of situation.
Hirsch, I don't know if you remember, you know, when you went to go get your L's and stuff, did they tell you in your class? Because the dude told me straight up, he's like, Michigan does not have a castle doctrine law. He's like, show me the castle doctrine law. Because he's like, it doesn't exist. And he's an instructor. And he was, you know, because he was trying to explain, you know, a scenario where, you know, if somebody broke into your house, what you can do and what you can't do. And he's like, yeah, we don't have castle doctrine law here in Michigan. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, because everybody in the room, black, white, otherwise, everybody in the other mind was like, I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. If a motherfucker come in this motherfucker, we blowing you away. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Because
in that case, that law don't fit with the people of the land.
So what are they saying? They need to see a gun first?
Do we got to do?
You know what? I'm not gonna front. I'm not even gonna lie. And maybe this was a bad decision on my part, bad decision on my end. I tuned him out once he said that because in my mind, I don't give a fuck what you talking about.
Most people in that class did that.
I mean, I rather deal with the law than the morgue. So
that's why I said that law don't fit with the law with the people of the land because that's not our mind frame here. If we got it, we gonna use it. If you come in here and you ain't supposed to be in here, it's that simple.
And that's
why even buy myself a firearm in my house. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it's funny because we could carry, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you, of course, you got to have L's to do it, but we can carry, but we can't have it to protect us in our home.
Right.
Like, what you talking about? What you talking about?
What's the point of having tools? What's the point of having these permits and all these things if I can't let them go when I need you to go?
Because I'm telling you, I the other day I sat down. I'm on the gun. I'm looking at some guns, and I'm looking at an AR. You know what I'm saying? and them talk about, you know, we can't have no cat. You know, we can't protect us. Like, I ain't walking around with the AR. I'm having it for the house.
That's what it's.
It's for the house.
It's definitely for the house, and you can't hide that. Well, I guess you could.
No,
I guess you could if you trench coating that motherfucker. I guess you could.
Yeah,
don't
I
want that
mean
kind of
that's not gonna be
attention.
easy.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, people walk around with. I'm not well. A positive. I know some positive people in Detroit. It's a group of
Yeah,
young
yeah,
black dudes that walk around protecting
right.
their own
Protecting the
community, and
neighborhood,
they have them on them.
like
Of course, I
pumping
know they
gas
follow
for
the law.
women and stuff like that.
Yeah, you seen it?
I forget
I
what their
forgot the
name is.
name.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
give them a shout out. Yeah.
I know
yeah.
there was another group of the NFAC, the Not Fucking Around Coalition. I know they be walking around all the time.
I want to say they New Era Detroit or something like that.
Oh no, yeah, that this is one that caught national attention. So I don't really remember where they was based, but that stuck out to me. The Not Fucking Around Coalition. I'm like, I like that.
It's a crew of them here in Detroit.
Oh, okay, I see what you're
I
saying.
think their name is New Era Detroit. I think.
Okay.
I want to do some more research on it.
Yeah, that'd be a good topic to talk about. That'd definitely be a good topic to talk about.
Since circling back to the police not protecting our community, so
right,
that fits right into that.
So, Romo, man, how? You probably explained it a little bit, but like, could you go into a little more detail about like what are police like over there?
Polish police. Polish police, for me, they can be assholes at times. I'll say that. From like my past situations when I dealt with them, like there are cool ones. There are definitely some cool ones, who try to listen to both sides and just be as peaceful as possible. And then there's just some dicks, just being honest. But it's never to a point where it's like they're gonna put their hands on you, they're gonna rough you up, nothing like that. They just may sometimes just have these kind of point of views where it's just like, all right, whatever, let's just move on. Because at the end of the day, they really do try to de-escalate as much as possible. Of course, the police do have guns, but they've never pulled guns. No, it's not like I said, it's not like that here at all. It's if there's like a lot of like he said, she said type vibes, they just really trying to shut it down. Like I said, sometimes they don't really listen to you from my point of view. But aside from that, most of the time, the police are just trying to handle those Friday nights, those Saturday nights, when people get drunk and things of that nature. They try to nip that in the bud real quick. So like when I was going through my past with my ex-wife and, like me and my daughter disputes and things of that nature, like I said, we ain't got those issues no more. But when we was going through that, I kind of felt like, they didn't really like listen to me or really understanding my point of view in certain situations. But now to be fair, I was also being a little loud, shouting and whatnot. So that's not cool on my part too, to be fair.
That won't help.
But other than that, no, like nowadays, the police are just, like I said, you can have some assholes every now and then, like any place. But for the most part, the police are just kind of like, hey, I'm just trying to do my job. We're not really trying to, hey, stop fidgeting, put your hands up. They'll never do nothing like that.
They not on edge.
Yeah. No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. Like maybe if you're at the park and you drinking with your homies and whatnot, and they come through and it's like, come on, man, I'm just on the bench drinking, like chill. But again, you're not supposed to do that. And
right.
They get their fines, they get their tickets, and it's just like, all right, whatever, bro. And then you move on. So we don't have any issues where it's like, oh, the police shot somebody or the police brutality in Poland. Like, nah, not that.
So let me ask, man. Do you have the experience of dealing with both? I mean, I'm pretty sure you have your war stories of dealing with Detroit police officers. I mean, shit, all of us do. But would you say it's more of a cultural thing, like with the police department here versus there? Do you think it's because from the way you describe it, obviously they are chill compared to the ones that are here. So do you think that's a cultural thing, probably as to why that is?
It could be, like, also too, because the thing is, like, with Lublin over the years, because I've been here for 9 years now, when I first moved here, there wasn't really that many foreigners. So, it was, when it came to like interacting, plus I wasn't interacting with the police 9 years ago. So,
Yeah.
now that things are different here in Lublin, that it's definitely a university town now because we have a lot of universities here and a lot of foreigners as well. So they're really trying to accommodate all Polish and foreigners, making sure that everyone's okay. Also,
Hold on. I don't even
Mhm.
mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I like what you said right there. They're trying to accommodate in that country versus
Yeah.
here where they don't want nobody to be here, and this is a mixed fucking country.
I think the difference is what over there. This is Macho USA where we ain't got all the money and all that. And they trying to bring more revenue.
That and plus you got to
Yeah.
look at it from this perspective too. This is Europe. If you travel from Detroit to Chicago 5 hours, you're still in the States. If I travel 5 hours, I could be in Ukraine. I could maybe in 10 hours be in Germany and things of that nature. It's a whole different country. The philosophy here in Europe is just different. So yeah, so the police are no matter where you go, the police are just really just trying to be chilled. Like we're not, they're not trying to. Yeah, they'll give out fines, they'll give out tickets if they need to. If horsing around or doing some stuff that you shouldn't be doing, yeah, they're gonna slap the cuffs on you and things of that nature. But for the most part, it's like, listen, we just trying to see what's going on. Let me get your ID. Let me talk to you for a second. And that's one thing too, about the whole ID thing. I've noticed in the States versus here in Poland and Europe. Like we don't I know that there's this.
Uh-oh. He froze
Yeah.
up.
He froze.
Yeah, he froze. Uh-oh.
It was getting good.
It really
I-
was.
Hey,
okay. Hold on.
You
back.
had
You back.
froze for a little
You
bit.
had froze for a minute, so we didn't hear anything
right
that you
that
said.
last point.
Oh, for real? Can you hear me now? Can you
Yeah.
see me now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. My bad. What I was saying was just when it comes to like giving information to the police, IDs and those kind of things, like, we don't really stress over that kind of stuff. It's because again, it's just like if you didn't do no crime, the
Right.
police are not trying to like be fishy and like, oh, you said what? Oh, you did what?
Yeah.
They're not like that here.
So, I
Whereas
think-
in the States, it's
I-
like
I-
you gotta be
I-
careful with information.
I think, like you said, I think they have quotas here in the United States. I think that's part of it as to why they be so strict and so stupid with these. Oh, you get a parking ticket if your meter goes off 2 seconds, and I already started writing the ticket. Nigga, I'm here. I'm right here.
Yeah.
So I think you would think like maybe that's some of it too. You don't. I mean, you obviously you're not an officer, so you wouldn't know.
And then also too, when it comes to that kind of stuff, like tickets and those kind of things, that's a whole separate unit. Honestly, that's more for the city. Like the police in Poland are like really just trying to focus on more crimes, theft, vandalism, things of that nature. If you got a parking ticket, you're not even dealing with the police. You're dealing with a whole different like city patrol, I would say. They focus on that kind of stuff. They just put a boot on your car. Like if you park in a place where you're not supposed to be parked, they're going to put a boot on your car. They're going to put a sticker on the door so you can't even open the door. You call the number, they come to you, you pay the fine, they'll take the boot off, and you're moving on, and that's it. So it's just a whole different ball game. Like, the police in the States definitely, they do everything, parking tickets and crimes, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just more laid
Marriage
back here.
counseling.
From your perspective, you think, like Americans, if they can just, be less combative, that would
Here's the thing.
minimize some of the.
That's a great question.
Here's the thing. In some situations, I do feel like people be instigating. I know my rights. I don't got to give you shit. Sometimes it's just, bruh, just give them your name, give them your information. They're going to say what they say. You moved on.
Yeah.
Because my thing is this. If you know you didn't do anything wrong, if you know you ain't got no warrant, why you got to be an asshole? Just give the guy or gal the information. You move on with the rest of your day. And if they do pull some petty stuff up, that's why they give you a court date. You go to court, you talk to the judge, and then whatever happens just happens. You know, I feel like sometimes we as people just be escalating stuff for no reason, you know, when you could have just gave the information and moved on.
I
At the
think
same
that
time,
It's because we
yeah,
got that illusion of freedom in America.
well, I
It's
true.
think
definitely an
Like,
illusion.
that might be
I don't
part of
gotta
it.
give you nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I think
That's-
the attitude is like that, and it makes it hard for good police officers because the mistrust already is there for the police, so
Right.
they already have an attitude towards the police, even if it's a good one, because they're not looking at them as this might be a cool one or a not cool one. They just like it's the police, and I know what they do, so they act like that.
Yeah, and I used to act like that when I was here in Poland. Like when I was going through my situation. But then hindsight now it's like, you know, I could have just been chilled. I could have done that a little bit different.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so when I think about my situation in Poland and knowing that it could have been way worse if I was in the States, um, yeah, I kind of just moving forward, just like, yo, I'm gonna just say my piece. If they ask for my information, okay, and I'm just moving on. Hell, half the time they don't even really care about your information. Like they'll just ask, you know, what's your name? Okay, blah 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 blah, and then we move on. You know, like it's not even that serious.
I got
But
a
again, it's a different country or continent, I should say. It's double
before
continent.
before we move on to the next one. I got a question
No, go
about the
ahead.
police, and you may not know. Um, I remember listening to some Andrew Tate was talking about police over in Europe.
Okay.
I don't know where he's at and where you at is if the police is a little bit different, but I know he was saying like the police gotta check their guns in after they get off their shift. Do they do that in Poland? You think?
Yeah, more than likely, because again, you can't have. Okay, here's the thing. Legally, you cannot have a gun unless you do follow special protocol. But number one, it's super duper hard to even obtain a gun. If you do get a gun, it's only really for like hunting and things of that nature. But even then, it's like you got to have it like in a certain room, in a certain lock, and certain. It's just too much of a hassle to even have. So that's why you know people don't really have guns here. I do know of one out of my time being here. I do know of one guy who does have a rifle again for hunting. But even then, it's like he has to have all these special protocols and all these extra things. So it's just really hard to obtain. So yeah,
Opposed to America, where you just need to post.
essentially, yeah. So like you know, when it comes to the gun laws, it's just there's no need for guns here because again, like no one's really trying to harm anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like yes, every country has its crime. The police. Okay, Andrew Tatum's in he's in Romania right now. So
Romania.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Romania. Yeah.
a little bit different there, I would say, but even still, like Europe as a whole, you know, we're not really trying to be like, hey, stop moving, oh, put your hands up, like it's not even that
Yeah.
like that. You know, if let's say for example, there's a situation where there's a big fight. Let's say the person is like armed with a knife or something like that. The police are not pulling up to the scene with their guns automatically drawn. You know, if anything, they're pulling up. They know, okay, this person may have a knife from what the report is saying. So they will proceed with caution.
Of course.
You know, they're going to ask questions and things of that nature, but they're not going to be with their guns automatically drawn, like put your hands up. Or like, they're not really trying to do that.
Is that like
here.
trying to diffuse it first, and if they can try to talk some sense into him, then hopefully he'll put it down. And if he don't, then they'll have to use lethal force. If he starts lunging at them and trying to kill them, then it's like, okay, well, yeah.
Honestly, though, I wouldn't even want to fuck with the police, like physically, like in the fight. Because Polish police, the difference is like American police, you know, they think like heavier set, like you know, kind of like
Yeah,
fat
the bar
a little
is
bit.
very low.
Yeah. But no,
Obese.
just a little bit, you know, because like I said, you know, my friend in Ohio who was a police officer, he built, you know what I'm saying, he got them hands, you know, he'll pap you if you need to. But like Polish police, you know, they definitely slender. They got them hands too.
They got the hands.
with the hands.
Yeah, man. Like I've been seeing some situations like these drunk folks. You know, they try to do some things, and the police Show
Put
ass
him down
down.
quick.
Yeah.
Sit down.
I like that. Though.
These
I
problems.
like that though. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, don't try.
I think, and you know, I think what's going to end up happening is, I think we're going to take a trip to Poland and do the show from there when it's, you know, I can't say when, but I think that's definitely in our future to come out there and kick it with you, and you can show us around, you know, and, you know, we'll have you on the show and do a live show from there. And I think that would be a great idea, man, because, shit, we need to get the fuck out this country from time to
You'll
time.
love it, man. You got some good beer. After having some beer here, you'll never like American beer.
Oh, well,
ever
see,
again.
that's Hershey
I don't
Flower
like American
Arena,
beer
man.
already.
You'll love the beer here, man. They got some good breweries here. I know people, the stereotype is like, oh, Polish vodka, this and that. Like, nah, I really feel like Poland has really good beer, like really, really good beer. So yeah, you'll love it. You'll love it.
Well, yeah, man.
Try Polish beer.
Nah, man,
This American shit ain't hitting on nothing.
Yeah, you take a sip of it, you'll be like, damn. Yeah, I'm telling you.
That's
It's strong as hell. Like I think
IPAs.
It's made with real bar.
yeah, like it is. Like it's so good, man. Like, oh my gosh. Like
I think I'm gonna enjoy the food, period. Because
That's a- yeah,
y'all don't add, and you don't put no extra additives over there. The European Union is very good with, hey man, all that red 40 dye and all that. That's not happening.
yeah, we don't like everything. Let's think about Poland too with food. Like food is just really as natural as it can be. Like, yeah, you got a few products that are just like fatty. But for the most part, you know, Poland does pride itself on like farming and agriculture and things of that nature. Yeah, like food is amazing. Like I've lost a lot of weight since I've been here. Like I was never a fat person. Like, I said,
you wasn't.
That I was always like skinny, but I was kind of chunk in some areas. But since I've been here, it's like yeah, the food is just way better. And even like sugar is expensive here.
Great.
Notice how if you go to Walmart, your 2-liter Pepsis and things like that are probably for $1, whereas water is like, you know what?
Not no more.
Not anymore.
No more. Nah.
It's
inflation
inflation kicking everybody ass.
Okay. It's been
I don't know how much eggs
Even the
is
trashy
over there.
food.
But
Look.
eggs is like $8 now over here.
Listen,
I would say eggs are kind of cheap. Eggs are cheap. Yeah, I would say they're cheap.
Like how cheap?
If I were to convert the rates, I would say well, they don't do about the dozens here. So wait, for 6, 8, 9. They don't do about a dozen. Yeah,
How they sell them?
10. You get 10. You can get 20. You can get 30.
That's
So
good.
yeah, I would say. Say like what, $4 for 10? Pretty kind of pricey though.
Oh my God. It's $8 for a dozen, man.
You selling eggs on the black market over
it's getting
here.
out of hand.
I'm going over
here.
there and bringing some eggs back, right? I'm gonna make a killing.
Yeah, because it's like 10. It's like 8 swatis. So
Yeah,
every
man.
dollar is like 4.
Man,
so,
Double your profit.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
we definitely.
We might need a Frank Lucas this thing and
You gonna be the
eggs
connect,
over
the
here.
Poland connect.
Fucking egg hustlers. and shit.
FBI. I'm playing.
Yeah, I would definitely say
I'm
about
playing
like
around.
Oh,
like
man.
I would say like $4 or $5 for like, because they do it by, I don't know how it is in the States, but they do it like they grade the eggs. So if you got like a 3, that's like the really cheap, like just they try to pump them out real fast. 2 is like borderline, and then 1 is like, you know, very eco-friendly.
They grade them here, but it's not as
Nobody
probably not
pays
as
Nobody
yeah,
pays
don't
attention to that.
Yeah, don't
They
nobody
all
pay
the same.
attention to
Yeah,
that.
they
shit.
pay attention right here.
Niggas
You know,
is
they
just grabbing
really
eggs.
only want fresh chickens that are like, you know, free and, you know, they weren't in cages and things like that.
Aged and eating
yeah.
shit. And
Mhm.
No, we're definitely gonna try to plan something. Definitely, because I think that would be a really great idea to do the show from there, and then just to get a chance to experience a little bit of that culture over there, and try some fresh food for the one time in my life because it's been feeding all this garbage chemical shit here in America. You know, all this shit is killing us slowly, and it's like, and I'm gonna be honest, man, I be trying my best to find other stuff to eat, and it's just like, ain't none of this shit healthy. I mean, they putting chemicals on the vegetables, so shit, even the vegetables are so-called healthy are not as healthy for you because the chemicals that they putting in there are draining the nutrients, the healthy stuff out of the vegetables. So it's like people already don't like eating vegetables, so why the hell would you eat them if you're not even going to get the benefits from them?
You know, the mass production, because, you know, they want to make so much money, they be trying to make so much in so little time to sell. It's like it cut all kind of corners, even if it hurt the people who's buying these products.
Money, money.
Facts. Yeah.
Okay, well, damn, that was a pretty lofty discussion. We got way away from the topic at hand, and I guess I'm gonna bring it back real fast. Listen, for the woman that got arrested over a piece of cheese, all I can say is, this is America. That's what we do here, unfortunately.
It's unfortunate. Yep.
So, and she obviously she got an attorney, and again, administrative leave. Stop it. He's still being paid, and regardless of what anybody says, us black folks, we're not ignorant, we're not stupid, we're not dumb, we're not naive. We know there's a double standard. Anytime, all you have to do is a little research and see when a black police officer commits a crime, you know, where they violate a citizen's civil rights or whatever and what have not. Justice is very swift. And when it's the opposite way around, when it's a white officer, oh, we're doing an investigation. It's going to take some time. We put him on desk duty, put him on leave. He's still getting paid. You know, he has a family to take care of. Like, come on, man. I mean, and part of the reason why we do this show is we really just like to cut the bullshit, be able to see society for what it really is, you know. So we're not dumb. You know, I hope this woman gets justice. I hope she sues the shit out of them, you know. And to give a little bit of an insight, it was 30 cents. She asked for an extra slice of cheese on her Big Mac.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Why was the
30
police
cents
called anyway?
I'll tell you because I heard of this story when I was listening to one of the shows I listened to in the morning, and they were talking about it, and I'm like, I think this would be good for us to talk about on our show. And I'm like, so I went and did some research, and I went looking into it, and basically she asked for a slice of cheese, an extra slice. The cash, you know, the person who takes the order. Yeah, cashier. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. They say, okay, well, we have to charge you for that. It's 30 cents extra. She's like, okay, no problem. I don't mind. She does what every other person does when they get their food. They check the bag. You check and see, did you get the shit right? Because prime example of why we check our bags, because obviously they didn't put the extra slice.
And still don't give it to me.
And that was it. They charged her for it. And once she realized it, she went in there and she admitted. She was like, in a separate, they didn't show it in this news clip, but she admitted, I might have been a little loud. You know what I'm saying? And I understand her frustration. She goes in there to talk to the manager. The manager's okay. That manager's acting like that he's going to assist her and help her. Calls the fucking police for trespassing. How the hell is she trespassing? And she's just like, hey, give me a refund. Give me my money back. Or either put the cheese on the sandwich or give me my money back. It doesn't matter if it's 30 cents. I paid for it.
Right. Exactly.
So, and then, you know, everything else happened, and unfortunately, you know, we didn't show the clip here, but I sent the video to these brothers, and they saw it this week, and you can clearly see, clear as day, the police officer punches her in the face, just three, bap, 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 3 times. And it's like, and she's pleading, why did you hit me? You know, she's a female, and you can clearly tell she's a, like, what are you doing? It's 2 of y'all. It's 2 officers, males. You already somewhat have her restrained. She's not really fighting you. She does have her hands up like, hey, why are you arresting me? Like, I'm the victim here. Why are you arresting me? So, you know, whatever. And this is just what black folks deal with in America. That's why it's kind of refreshing to hear your experience of what you say it's like over there in Europe and Poland and everything. But the reality for us here in the United States as black folks is this is the shit we have to deal with. And the only good thing is that people have cameras now and can record this shit, because you have to think about what was going on in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Nobody was fucking believing us. Nobody believed it. And then they want to get mad and when black folks decide to riot and shit because we're tired of being brutalized in our communities.
I mean, they often still spit in our face, even with the evidence showing that they did what they did. You know, Rodney King, prime example.
Prime example.
You know what I mean? It's shown on video, man.
It's on
they
video.
Threw that
they
shit
still
out.
got out. Still, that's what made people boil over. Like, what do you need to see?
Yeah, they tore up LA.
I mean, the same could be said about the assholes who got away with killing Emmett Till. All white jury. Oh, we acquitted him. And then as soon as they got acquitted, they went right out there and said, oh, yeah, we killed him.
Whew. The old lady got away scot-free, basically. You know what I'm saying? She the lady who basically was like, yeah, I lied. It's like
nothing happened.
See?
And you know, I guess you agreed to it beforehand. So you remember the question that we asked last week, Romo, if you want to feel comfortable, if you feel like answering it, because it's on par with what we're talking about as far as why some black people are prejudiced. This is kind of why, because of what we've seen historically. You know, now last week all we did was ask a question. I just asked a question, and these brothers they gave very very like calm answers. Okay, now we have another guy that his answer is not like theirs, you know, and is much different. And I was gonna have him on the show, but I don't know if that might be a good idea. So you know, but what do you think? What from your perspective of being over there in Europe and being around? Granted, they're not the same kind of white people, and then. And what was I know your experiences probably weren't the same when you were living here in the United States, or maybe they were. I don't know.
Like when it comes to prejudice, I feel like that to be prejudiced because of what happened in the past is something that we can't do if we want to move forward. You know, like we want equality and things of that nature. Of course, we don't want to forget what happened, and things of that from that perspective. Like we're not saying forget, and whether you forgive or not forgive, you know, that's your choice. You know, we all have our own opinions when it comes to that, when it comes to slavery and things of that nature. However, one thing that I've learned since I've been here is that we can't talk about wanting to become like better people or things of that nature if we don't allow ourselves to be better people. That's one thing I've noticed while being here in Poland, because, you know, obviously with Poland and Germany and them having their issues in the past. And there are some people who on both sides, you know, some Germans who are not really messing with Polish people and vice versa. But I do see a large community of people who are, you know, not holding anything against what happened with the Holocaust or what happened during the war or what happened during the communist times. It's just like, it is what it is. This is 2023. I got to move on. There's a lot of Polish people who are studying German or who go to Germany to work. There's a lot of Germans who come to Poland to, you know, explore and do things or do business and things of that sort. Now, there have been talks in the past about like reparations and things of that nature, and like, no, Germany got to pay up, and there's big debates about that. But
Shit,
as
we
far
had
as
that problem here.
yeah, but as far as like for like for example for myself, to hold prejudice is something that I can't do because I got a lot of friends who are white and they ain't got nothing to what happened in the past and things of that nature. I love them just like I love all of you, and I'm not going to hold something that happened in the past against them, like what's done is done. We have to move forward. It's just like in God of War, like the old Kratos, he was killing all the gods, he was doing all this stuff and things of that nature. And I loved how in the not in the newest one, haven't played it yet, but at least in the PS4 God of War, I guess the fourth one or whatever.
Yeah.
I like how in the end of that game, like he sees that Baldur and Freya, they're going at it, and Kratos is like, this has to end because he was doing all that. He was hating the gods for so long, and what did it bring him? So when this has to end,
So let me ask you, man. What do you? This is actually tying into our thoughts segment.
Okay.
So, what do you think it will take to eliminate the racial resentment or the hate? Like, how can we come together?
You come together by just being true to yourself. I can't control what other people do. I can't control how other people think. But what I can do is lead by example through my own way. If you are not messing with my frequency, or if you're not on my wavelength, then you don't even exist in my world to begin with. You are the main character in your own story. You're going to let an NPC control you? Notice, when I'm the main character, you walk through NPCs. You bump into them. They don't bump. When they bump into you, they just bounce off of you. I'm not about to let an NPC get me off of my straight path. So, I'm just going to continue to lead by example through my own way. And if I do fall off, because we're human and we do fall off, I have my circle, my group of people, my friends, my thoughts, that's going to get me back on the right path, So it's like, yeah, like I'm not about to let anyone mess up my flow. Again, when those times come, I get a little mad, I get a little angry and things of that nature. I'm gonna let it out, but then I'm gonna get back on the path and just keep pushing forward. And for all the other negativity or things that I know don't matter or that it's just irrelevant, it's like, if you're not paying my bills, if you're not laying with me every night, if you don't know my deepest and darkest of secrets, then why would I even give you an ounce of my time? Plus, while I'm dedicating all this mental energy to you, you're not even thinking about me. You're doing your own thing, having the time of your life. So unless you are dedicating that same amount of energy, that same amount of like hatred or whatever, like I'm doing to you, that you're doing the same thing, when realistically you're not, because you're probably moving on doing your own thing. I'm not about to give that energy to something that's just irrelevant,
Okay. Same question to you, brothers. What would be your perspective?
I would for here. We just got this whole construct over here got to change because it's really rooted into prejudice and even more so racism. And I don't. I think last week, people reacted off that clip and they didn't see the whole thing of us saying the rest of what we were saying.
Yeah.
Like me personally, like, man, we say this all the time. We're not talking to all white people. It's just the thing is, we don't want to hear it, repeat that
Right.
every other time because at this point it should already be known. If you listen to us, then you already know. But I'm sure that all these people who has something negative to say, these people who don't listen to us, they haven't heard us before.
Yeah.
So as far as prejudice go with white people, like I said last week, like I don't think it's right, but I can understand how somebody could be angry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, at these people. And now Rome was saying that you gotta let go, and I agree with that. One of the big differences, it seems to me, with what's going on over there and over here, with versus over here, is they probably done came together with a plan to squash that. Where over here it's like it's a touchy subject, and I don't really want to talk about that.
That's
which
true.
is why
Yeah.
it never get fixed.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
they don't had a hard conversations about it, and I said it last week. A lot of this is fear based.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead.
No, I was just, the only thing I would add to that is that, and granted, the way the clip was chopped is really because I had never posted on TikTok before, so I was assuming that I would had like maybe a 1 minute limit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. Now that I know, I can make it like at least. Well, they got them to where you could do it up to 7 or 8 minutes, but I probably wouldn't post nothing that long. But make it maybe like 2-3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that would help to so people can kind of understand and now I understand that I have to start whenever I post anything, it has to be like a link to the actual episode to where it's like, hey, really check out the entire episode. Okay, you're getting a small sample size. We have a very, very long, in-depth conversation if you're really interested in learning about this subject.
But you know what? I think even if you did that, they still would have kind of reacted the same way because it's really off emotion.
Yeah,
it's like you hear, like I said, this is it's a touchy subject. So when they hear that, it's like, I gotta, and it's like, and that's why I didn't. I seen y'all in the comments, but this is the reason why I didn't comment because I want to do like what they saying, like what Rome saying that they done over there.
Yeah,
I'm not in there to have a conversation to go back and forth with y'all. Not to say y'all went back and forth.
Yeah,
but I understand the internet and how people think, and people want to force you to listen to their part and say, no, this is right. And then you got to come back and no, this is right. I'm not about to have an argument. What I'm trying to do is fix it.
Yep.
Let's have a real conversation about fixing it. Just like, we talk about black women versus black men. You know how a lot of these podcasts talk about that same thing, and it keeps on doing the back and forth thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't want no back and forth. I'm
Yep.
trying to fix it. Like, let's fix it. What can we do to fix it? Let's have the hard conversations.
Absolutely. And believe it or not, I mean,
nobody. I want a lot of white people, especially the ones who saw that clip, to understand. Nobody would want to hate y'all.
No, of course not.
Like Rome said, people don't be thinking about you. Like, we not trying to hate you. We just trying to live. You understand? Like, we just want to live. And not only just live, we won't just have our respect while we live and our dignity while we live. This is the whole reason why we say, this is the reason why we make this. It's bad people just want dignity and respect, dog. That's all they want. We ain't trying we asked for economic because we felt like we helped build this, and we did. You know what I mean? And we should have a part of it. Everybody else then had a part of it and got a head start except for us. We just want our part.
Exactly.
That's it.
Well, but ironically, I guess he was, he looked like he was a white person, but he understood. And one of the comments where he was like, look, man, he's like, I understand why some black people might be prejudiced. He's like, I get it. You know, as like I can understand historically, you know, reading the history, and is basically in so many words he was saying, I can understand why y'all wouldn't trust us. I get it. You know what I'm saying? He was like,
That's what I'm saying.
I don't have a voice at the table on this.
Right.
Yeah, he's like, I don't have a voice at the table on this thing, but I get it. I understand. And he was like, I like the way that you're handling it, because he saw all of those negative comments of all those people. And I'm like, and I was responding to some, and I'm like, really, I'm just asking a question. I was not going back and forth with him like I normally do on my personal page.
Right.
I was coming at it from the.
I gotta say, kudos to you, because I know how you would do. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
And
Dude,
I know,
still commenting right now.
I know what the other one would do too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So kudos to you for having restraint.
And he saw it too. He was like, I appreciate the way you handling it, because he kept seeing it, and I'm like, I kept seeing it, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna respond, because we're just asking questions. That's all it is. We're just asking, like you said earlier, Fly. We're trying to have the difficult discussion, and that's it. Just having the difficult discussion, trying to reach a solution. We're trying to get a resolution to this thing to make it better, instead of just ignoring the problem like you alluded to. It's like, oh, well, we're not going to talk about that because it's uncomfortable. No, you got to get used to being uncomfortable. Unfortunately, that's a part of being an adult. That's a part of living. You're going to have to do things you don't want to do, and shit, I'm waking up going to work every morning. I don't feel like doing that shit. You got to fucking do what you got to do, man. So, you know, so I respect. Well,
you know, my question is to everybody, is, don't y'all want to stop living like this? like don't y'all want to get away from this? Like, this is a conversation that we've been having the same conversation for a long ass time.
Toxic.
A long ass time. And I want to say this too. Like, on here, I always say, you know, we need to have our own thing. But, you know, my reasoning for saying have our own thing is because when we try to have conversations, and the other half do not want to have this conversation, the next best thing for us is to do our own thing. You know what I'm saying? And have our own thing. We would rather work with y'all, you know, or everybody else.
Yeah, and historically that's been proven true as to, you know, black people have always tried to integrate, and you know, when you know, slaves when they got free, they wanted to go to college and they couldn't, so HBCUs was born, and so and I've mentioned that before on the show, and just about everything else. Like, I just learned that black people had a damn hockey league in the early 1900s. I had no fucking idea. I didn't know that, and I'm like,
surprised.
Seriously? I'm like, well, Jesus Christ. Wow. Because we literally had to do everything on our own. So it goes back to what you said, Fly, about this is why we do our own. Because we got to have our own.
It wasn't included, so we had to. Yeah.
So it's kind of like in the blood. You know what I mean?
And I would say, see, you point out right there why some of us feel slighted. You know, we cut out, like, let's look at the whole story. We cut out everything. We make our own. Then you say, yo, kumbaya, let's come together. Then we give up our ownership of having our own to come together, and then we get shitted on. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you know, then we have to make y'all do things like affirmative action. You know, we nobody wants to do this. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, my final answer to the question is, we just gonna have to change this whole structure, how everything is structured over here, and had a real conversation.
Well, what
How's
say
we
you?
gonna fix it?
Yeah, I agree. What say you, Brother Hirsch?
I don't think my stance changed from last week. I mean, I don't think I said nothing out the way. I said,
A lot of people
if you
agree
got a
with it.
moral compass,
A lot of people liked what he said.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So I pretty much stay in the same position as last week.
Well, okay.
I don't think it's right. But I understand why people, you know, would be prejudiced to people who've been oppressing them for all these years.
So what do you think about the other question, though, about what do you think it's going to take to eliminate the resentment and the hate? Like, what do you think it'll take for us to come together?
Yeah, just got to open up and talk about the shit and not try to whitewash and, you know what I'm saying, erase history and only teach the good parts of, you know what I'm saying, just face it. Only way you're going to get through it is if you go through it. So, yeah, just sit down, talk about the shit, hash it out, and work out, you know, because ain't nobody leaving this mug, so you might as well.
Right.
Well, I mean, Rome left, but
right. Rome might leave, but in mass, all together, people
yeah, I
ain't
know what you
leaving.
said.
We gotta have to coexist. So, you know,
I mean, shit. I
get out.
mean, we got a whole damn planet. We all got to share that shit.
Yeah.
Which is you know, another thing I say on the show all the time. You know, I believe in, you know, is you take care of yourself first. I mean, it's God, then it's
Yeah.
you, then it's your family, your community, then it's the world. Because you want to be a good worldly citizen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that in itself means that you got to respect yourself and others that don't look like you.
Exactly.
This has been very, very helpful. This was much better than the one last week.
No, one last week wasn't bad. It's just
I know.
TikTok didn't like that.
The way you cut it.
and again,
it's not what how he cut it. It's more. I mean, he only got so much to put in that small.
Yeah.
And then plus, like you said too, you know, what the one thing that is different about Europeans versus Americans, you know, no disrespect, but Americans are soft. You know, when the heat is turned on, they don't like having those tough conversations. Whereas in Europe, you know, I mean, if you turn on the news, they having those kind of conversations every day. Now, of course, for some people, like with Polish news, for example, like each station has their own quote unquote propaganda, but at the end of the day, they're talking about it, whether you like it or not. Whereas in America, when you try to have those conversations, they try to, you know, sugarcoat it or, oh, let's not really go that deep.
They don't like to be uncomfortable over here.
Oh my God, I hate that shit.
You know, so here in Poland or really in Europe in general, they'll talk about any and everything. They'll get into arguments about it. They'll get into, you know, fights, not physically, but like they'll get into fights about it. But they're going to have that conversation no matter what. And also, too, it's not like when they have these debates, there isn't like a I'm right, and if you're not with me, then you're just 100% wrong, and you're a bigot and you're a racist and all that kind of stuff. No, they don't do that. You know, they listen to you. You give your opinion, you give your thoughts, and then you know, we're moving on to whatever else is next, and then that's that.
And that's what was going on in that comment section.
Mm.
And then the reason why I didn't get in it, because I'm like, see, I know what that's gonna be. I'm right. You should. This is what it is, and instead of disrespect, you know, and take the emotion out and respect
have a
and have
conversation.
you know, yeah.
Exactly.
You know, like I was saying off mic, believe it or not, for as many, you know, of those white folks that you saw and that was speaking very negatively in the comments, so many more of them hearted the video. So many of them liked it because I guess they liked the idea of, hey, they're actually having a productive conversation about, you know what I'm saying, about what's taking place in society. Like, this is actually a thing that goes on. Like, everybody's prejudiced at some point. Like, I mean, shit.
Yeah.
You got Dominicans don't like Puerto Ricans in some aspects. You know, so
Puerto Ricans don't like Mexicans.
I was shocked. I was shocked to know learn that early.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up around a lot of Mexicans. And I know one guy, he was Cuban. And I had the I guess I didn't know he was that. You know what I mean? I guess I didn't know about the whole Latino thing.
Yep.
I just knew I'm like most of these people here is Mexican, but I didn't not. I thought they be cool and all. I thought all Latinos was cool and all. I didn't know that until he pointed it out. Like I was like, damn, I ain't I didn't know y'all didn't
It's a
like
culture. It's a cultural
Yeah.
thing, and if we're not a part of that culture, we probably won't understand that aspect.
Right.
And just like
Right.
what Rome is talking about, the Polish and the Germans have their. It's a cultural thing over there where it's like, hey, so it's.
But the thing with the Polands and the other, what you said is the Polands and the who?
Germany.
And
Germans.
Germans. Yeah, it's documented. It's well documented though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was
As
actual
far-
war.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's very well documented.
Mm.
With Mexicans and everybody else inside that
Yeah, it's not
diaspora.
documented like that. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
That's kind of their internal cultural situation they got going on.
It ain't no different from light skin versus dark skins over here for
Right.
black folks.
Right.
I hate that colorism shit.
That's stupid too.
Yeah.
I don't like that shit. But man, that's a really good discussion, man. So we're gonna move on to, unless somebody has something else.
No, I had a separate question. I
go
thought
ahead.
about. Why do like mixed people? Why are they considered black?
Well, I can give my take on that first. I believe because of that old school one drop rule
that's
shit.
Crazy.
That
I
one
was
drop
just
rule
talking
shit that
about
they.
on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, so if you got a Japanese person and a Chinese person, if they have a child, they don't just consider that Japanese or Chinese, So I was always wondering, like, why why are mixed people considered black?
Well, it depends on how dark they are.
More importantly, watch this now. You never hear a mixed person call themselves white. For example, if it's a white person or a black person, I'm mixed, but I'm black.
Right.
You never hear like I'm mixed, but I'm white. Like you never hear that. You know what I'm saying?
I think part of the reason of that is just culture in the United States where they want to, because the segregation was so heavy, they want to push you either this or that. But 17 was already alluding to the one drop rule.
Yeah,
that's one reason, and the other reason is black people historically have been more, we're gonna take you in,
welcoming.
Yeah, over white folks who they looked at us as nothing. So it's like, ew, why would you, any
You're
ounce
tainted.
of that,
You're not. Yeah,
you over there.
You're not white.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good
Just
question.
something that was on my mind.
That's a good question though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna try to get away from the racist part of the show. No, I don't
Not
know.
racist.
Yeah, it's not racist.
It's a conversation about race.
A conversation about race.
We gotta be
I gotta be a little more
choice
careful.
in words.
No, fair point. Yeah, definitely gotta be careful about what we say. So this is a question. This is a question that Jerome asked earlier this week, and I'm gonna let you ask it, brother, because you gave us the question, and it'd be better if the audience heard it from you.
No problem. Because we'll see what happened was on Monday, I have private lessons giving English lessons, and one of my students, she was telling me about a situation that she had, and she was saying that one day I can't remember if she was walking up or down the stairs, but she tripped and fell accidentally. It was an accident, but she tripped and fell. She was holding on to the handrail too, but her hand got caught in like the bars. Because in Poland we got like these little bars on the rails too. Her hand got caught, so she ended up breaking her hand, and also her engagement ring that she wore had bent. So then she was saying that her fiance, she made him pay to get her ring fixed. And I'm like, why am I paying? Why is he paying to get your ring fixed when it was an accident? Don't get me wrong, but it's your ring and you bent it. And she said, well, he gifted me the ring. And if you love me, you'll get it fixed.
Oh wow.
Now, to be fair to her, to be fair to her though, because I did also ask, okay, so if he damaged his ring, are you going to fix his ring? And she said yes, because that's my love that I gave to you. So if it gets damaged, I'm gonna pay to get it fixed. So to be fair to her, it's not like she's just saying, "Oh, you're gonna pay for everything." No, it's not like that.
Yeah.
She's
It was starting to sound like that.
Yeah. So the question was like this: if your fiance or if your wife damaged her ring like by accident, is it your job to pay for the upkeep to keep it fixed or to keep it right?
Who want to go first? I go first. Hell no.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hell no, it ain't my fucking fault. I ain't paying to get that shit fixed. You fix that shit.
Be more careful.
Be more careful. No, because listen, we all adults. I got bills to pay. I'm not about to pay to get your shit fixed. Hey, save some money.
You know what? I could partly agree with what he's saying, especially if I'm paying most of the bills.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you expecting me to pay most of the bills and I don't have it like that to fix it like that. On the other hand, I'm also personally, I'll be like, okay, we could figure it out. I might have it, or we can go half on trying to figure out how to fix it.
You use that buzzword. They don't like that. We can go half. They don't like that shit.
I mean,
yeah, you gotta.
We going half on trying to. We going
collaborate.
There we go. We try to collaborate on how to, because the main objective is to get it fixed. If that's what we're trying to do. Yeah, so it's like, okay, to me, it all depends. I might do it. I might, if I don't have it like that, and she really wants to get it fixed quick, and it's like, well, let's figure out how we can get it together to fix it. Yeah. It depends.
So, yeah, what say you, Mr. Engaged person?
I would say, in the beginning, I would try to
be careful now, because Kay watching.
I would try to get some insurance on it, so we don't got to worry about that.
Smart man.
If it gets damaged, then they pay for it. But if we ain't got insurance, then the way I look at it, it's probably gonna come out the same pot anyway. It's coming out of the house, whether she pay for it or I pay for it. So
yeah. No, that's like how you think it.
That's a very conservative answer. I love that, man. Because I'm just gonna be straight raw with it. Fuck no, I'm not getting that shit fixed. Fuck it. If you apparently you didn't care enough about that fucking ring, which the ring is supposed to symbolize us. So you telling me you don't give a fuck about us?
I wouldn't say she didn't. She didn't.
I know. I'm just talking.
She didn't care. She made a mistake. As we all do.
Yeah.
She made a mistake.
Sorry, Rome. I'm not gonna give you a nice answer. I'm gonna be an asshole on this one.
Honestly, this week I've been asking that same question to or this week I've been asking this question to every person every chance I got, to whoever I was speaking with, and honestly, the answers are kind of like 50-50. Some are really like, no, I'm not paying for that. Again, it was an accident. Those kind of things, but that's your ring. What I'm saying, I bought it. You can take care of it. And then also at the same time, some other people are like, yeah, no, I have no problem, so it was kind of interesting. And maybe for me, I thought I was heartless, because I'm like, what? Because when I first heard the story and she was telling me about it, I was like, why is he paying for it when you tripped and fell? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your ring. You pay for that, but hearing different people's opinions throughout the week on both sides, it was just like, it's just something that
different perspectives.
Because I'm like, I'm like, honestly, I'm with one on this one. Like,
so I pay for that shit.
You're right. Like, you fucking understandable. Why am I paying for it?
It's understandable. But what made me even more? I think I knew it was gonna be 50-50. because it's all depending on what the situation is.
Yeah.
And when I'm saying depending on situation, is how do the couple look at it, together.
True, exactly.
Which is why when she said, "Well, I would do it," that right there told me everything.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Right, exactly. That's why I had to make sure to add that in there because
Right.
if I didn't add that, it would have sounded like, oh damn,
like
she gotta do
I'm so
everything.
obligated.
Right. So so when I did ask her that, and she said, "Oh, I have no problems paying for his ring," so it's just like,
Well,
like it's also true. Like when you lost your ring in the playpen, you would buy your own ring, right? Or would you have your wife
buy
you a new one?
Say that again.
Would you buy your
Because
own
you lost
ring?
your ring in the playpen when you was playing with your daughter in the playpen, and your ring fell off. Now you did get it mailed back, so that was cool. But if you had to get a new ring, let's say you like 100% lost it, would you pay for it yourself, a new ring, or would you get the missus?
Well, here's what was actually going to take place that day. The day I lost the ring, and I knew I lost it, and like I say, my wife was recording. We actually got it on camera when I lost it. It's just it's fucking ball pit. I can't fucking find it. I specifically told her, I said, okay, well, as soon as we leave here, I'll go to, and before anybody out there judges me, I'm a simple person, okay? I don't need all that fancy shit because I know what my wife means to me, right? I don't need a ring is just a form of symbolism. I don't need no fucking expensive ass band to symbolize the strong love that I've been with this woman almost 17 years. Okay? I don't need to spend a lot of fucking money on a ring. So I told her we could go to Walmart. We can go to Walmart. I'll spend $30, $40 on just a plain band because I don't, the type of job I do, I can't really wear it anyway because it's going to get filthy. So I don't want my ring getting filthy and getting messed up. So I only wear it when, I'm outside of work. And since I'm at work most of the time anyway, I don't have my ring on. So there's no point in me spending a lot of money on it. And she, when I said, hey, let's, I'll go to Walmart and just get a ring. She was like, no, you ain't got to do all that. And I'm like, you sure? I mean, because we was right there in Walmart. Just, I was looking at one. I'm like, oh, I might rock with this one. She was like, no, you ain't got to do all of that. I think she had already made a plan in her mind that I'm going to wait a minute and I'm going to call them and see if they found that motherfucker and try to get it back. Because that's what she did. She waited, called them, they found it, and she got it back for me. And I'm like, and to me, that meant more than buying another ring. Because that was my second time losing it. And I know they make, you just irresponsible. No, it's not that. It's just shit happens. And
it's very easy to lose it.
Right. Well,
it's
the
not
ring
that hard to lose.
Right. Well, my wedding ring is a little oversized because when I got it, it fit, but I lost weight, and so my finger shrunk, and so it's like my fingers ain't the same size no more. So it's like, okay, well, so it's a little loose, and sometimes it'll fall off. So I kind of have to keep my ring finger closed when I got it on sometime. But that ring, that symbolizes the fact that yes, I lost it twice and found it. Well, first time I found it on my own. Second time she recovered it for me. That's what means a lot more to me than. So no, she I guess she had it up in her mind. Sorry to make it so long, but she had it up in her mind. Probably already like, no, don't even worry about it. We'll figure something out.
If let's say y'all they didn't get back with y'all, they didn't find it. Was she was gonna get it or you was gonna get it?
Oh no, I was gonna get it. It was never. It was never in my mind that she was gonna get it, and it was always, oh no, I'll get it. It's not a, I guess that thought never even crossed my mind to have her to think to pay for it. Like, nah, I'll get it because, I mean, I'm gonna get a fucking cheap ring anyway. I don't fucking care. I mean, again, I think what we do in America is we put too much prestige on certain things.
On the ring.
Yeah. And not just the ring, but the wedding too.
With somebody about that.
No, that's the same.
I just had a conversation about that.
Oh, you said it's the same there in Poland?
Yeah, the rings are important. Yeah, they're important.
Okay.
Yeah, they're important. Yeah,
it's a big thing over there.
I think I honestly just feel like it's a universal thing when it comes to rings. No. I say universal in terms of it's really sentimental, it means a lot to you, or it really is no big deal. Because I know couples right now who are married 10, 20 years who don't wear rings at all,
Okay.
Because it's really just more about like the person, what you have going on for yourself and things of that nature than it is about some materialistic thing, you know. Because at the end of the day, if you know you're faithful, if you know you're down for this person for the rest of your life, you don't really necessarily need a ring to signify that. That's what makes it hard for me as a single man because I'm talking to somebody, I look at their hands when they got no ring on. I start, asking little questions. Oh, what you got on for Valentine's Day? Oh, me and my boyfriend, or me and my husband, or me and my fiance. And I'm like, fuck, man.
They celebrate
I ain't got no
Valentine's.
ring on, you know what I'm saying?
They celebrate Valentine's Day over there.
Honestly, it's just like it's just another. No. Like I feel like it's just a day where either you into it or it's just like another day. Honestly, some people actually kind of hate it because it's just like, oh, I'm not about to get caught up in that nonsense. If
Same
anything,
thing out here.
Same here.
yeah. If anything, that week is a crazy week because you got the Super Bowl on Sunday, you got Valentine's Day on Tuesday, Thursday for us.
They watching the Super Bowl too, huh?
Hell yeah, I'm watching the Super Bowl. I know at first I was pissed off about man, refs be cheating and shit. Like, but I gotta watch it.
I mean, I know you watch it. I'm saying they watch it over there?
Yeah, they'll show it on Polish television, and also there's we got a football team here, like a small football team. We got a football team here. I used to play for them actually, Titani Lublin. They'll have a little
pictures.
Party. Yeah, they have a little party and do a little something there too. Only difference is just, for us it's 6 hours ahead, so it's like gonna be 12:30 when the game starts. So it's like I'll probably catch a few things because I do got to work in the morning, and it's just like I don't want to take off time because I'm in my grind mode right now. So last year was awesome because I literally came off from Tenerife, Super Bowl, and then we started winter holiday. So it's like, awesome. This year is a little different. So it's like, I'll catch a few minutes of it. If it's a good game, I don't know, because I'm still kind of pissed off about just some of these games from this playoffs, just all the referees cheating and stuff. So it kind of took a lot, So, yeah, but they watch it though.
It's about as much sports as we've ever talked on this show.
Right. We should talk more.
No, I don't disagree.
Lions. Woo!
Oh no, we ain't doing that. All right, so we're gonna get into our last topic of the day. Usually on the show we try to have a hit or miss or something, but we got special guests on the show, and I really wanted to have a topic related to his field of work. He's a teacher, and we have some unfortunate news going on in, you guessed it, all places, Florida. Fucking Florida. Anyhow, I know I'm probably not doing too well with Florida fans right now. But I come down there every year and spend my money, so give me a break, all right? But you're fucking governor, Ron DeSantis. Huh?
You probably didn't want to say that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Hey, look, I don't go down there. I don't come to Florida empty-handed.
When he bring his ass down here and spend that money, he mine.
All right.
It's all right. It's all right. So,
and our ground too. So just know that.
All right, that's what I said. I don't go empty-handed. So I don't want no problems with nobody. Okay, I say that publicly. I don't want no smoke, no problem. So don't try me, and you won't have to get tried yourself. So we'll leave it at that. So, but yeah, I'm gonna play this clip of what's going on down in Florida. So yeah, let's get to it.
Langston Hughes, who knows who Langston Hughes is?
Tonight, the College Board unveiling a new framework for advanced placement African American studies after pressure from critics to not include topics like Black Lives Matter and sexual orientation. A critique many students in the pilot course resisted.
It really hurt. I thought we were moving forward in life.
The College Board saying its new syllabus includes the study of Black artists, inventors, and gay Americans pivotal in the civil rights movement.
This is the beginning of a process that will more democratize American education and rightfully put forward where it is that Black studies should be in the curriculum across the board.
This latest chapter of U.S. education debate sparking protest and legal pushback in Florida last week.
Black history is American history.
Republican Governor Ron DeSantis banning the pilot AP course in Florida. His latest move restricting the teaching of race and sexuality in public schools.
When you try to use Black history to shoehorn in queer theory, you are clearly trying to use that for political purposes.
The College Board's new curriculum will no longer include authors flagged by Florida officials as scholars of concern, but it says the revisions were made independently from political pressure, adding it consulted with more than 300 professors of African American studies and piloted the course in 60 schools across the country.
Do you believe this updated course framework will be enough for Florida to lift their current ban?
I do not believe that Florida is going to lift the ban because it's never been about this course. The governor was very clear. African American studies doesn't have educational value. And I think that the governor has led with that. The government has demonstrated that through policy, through comments, and so forth.
The course is set to launch nationwide in the upcoming school year. Zinclair Samoa, NBC News.
So,
I'm sorry. Did you say queer theory?
Yes, he did.
What is that?
Yeah, he did.
Is that a real thing, or is
Yes,
that
he did.
something he just made up?
We about to put it together right then and there.
This is why this is difficult. That's why I'm like, oh Christ. But what say?
There's so much to be said about that.
It really is. What say you, Romo?
You know, that's a really tough situation right there because I do honestly kind of see both sides in this situation. Because of course, you know, from the people who created the course, those kind of things, they can see like, yo, you know, we're just trying to get the history, no matter if the person is gay or Black Lives Matter or those kind of things. We're just trying to show history for what it is. And this is an AP history course, so it's advanced placement. You know, that's some elite level stuff right there. Not to mention they've worked with over 300 professors from what's been said from the report. At the same time, when it comes to what the governor is saying, like in terms of making, if he sees it, well, first of all, it's kind of interesting because why is the governor even having a say on all this when it should go to the school board? You know, like that's a school board thing. Mm-hmm. Second of all, now definitely in Poland, for example, like they really try not to talk too much about homosexuality and things like that. Like they don't try to see it from or really have a voice in that in the schools. Mm-hmm. So you know, when he's saying the certain things like, you know, this agenda and things of that nature, I do see where he's coming from that aspect. Like if they have a certain policy where like it's not in these classes, so you're not going to have it in this class. I kind of see what he's saying from that perspective, but it doesn't look like this course is talking. I mean, we don't know what the course is or what kind of stuff is being talked about, but it doesn't. I wouldn't. If it's an AP course, I don't think it's going to be like, oh, like this is homosexuality, this or oh, I don't really see it like that. So, you know, if the governor, if he feels like, you know, oh, well, you're going to play something later on, so then it's going to maybe change my opinion. We'll see. To let me shorten this down. Then I don't want to ramble or lose track. On one side, you know, should the course be available for all? Of course. If it's going nationwide, then why is it that this governor has a problem with it? At the same time, from the governor's perspective,
I think it was just applying to the Florida curriculum in particular.
Okay. Then if it messes with the curriculum, then, you know, I mean, there's really not much you can do about that. If they feel that, this is messing with their stuff, which is unfortunate because, again, I still kind of feel like, what does the governor have to do with this when this is it could be really a school board matter? But it's not fair to the people who would like to take that class. History is history. If it's history, then it's facts. If it's facts, then what are you worried about? You know what I'm saying? So I feel the course should be available. Unfortunately, it's not. And like the young lady said, it's not right. It's not fair. As they said, Black history is American history, whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And as they say, history speaks for itself.
You brothers want to chime in?
Well said. What I guess I would just add, if they taught everything in history, they wouldn't need, the special African American history. It would just be in the regular history books.
Mm-hmm.
So if they just included all the history, we wouldn't even be having this issue. You know what I'm saying?
You make it too much sense, Brother Hirsch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about we just include all the history and just have regular history?
I get that, but
I would that.
I don't mean to cut you off. I do get that, but it is nice to have, AP, because I took AP history, AP US history, in high school. Those advanced placement classes are really nice though, because it gives a bit more detail, in terms of, I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, we should all have it. I get that, but no, AP classes are nice though, because it really gives you more in depth. So if you do have if they do have this AP,
a certain topic, to kind of go in depth,
deeper. Right. So that is a nice course, definitely.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead, Fly. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. I say this because it's an AP class and it's not in every curriculum. What's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only in this type of curriculum and it's going in depth, which we need that. I think history is could be used as a yardstick as far as how far we came and how much further we got to go. Like, we can look in history now and say, damn, man, look where we was at 40, 50 years back then and look where we at now. Also, they kind of Black people already been saying, our history is not being told, and the people who control the history don't look like us. And so this is another way of the ones who don't look like us to still control history by not letting people of the present know about the history, by banning it. So when they listen or they find anything out about it, it's going to be in like a more watered down class instead of, which was, to me, it's dumb of him to do that, because if you wanted to ban it in a regular curriculum, it would have been better for somebody who was like, I want to choose to know this. See, that AP class is, I want to choose to know that.
They want to.
And the other thing is, like, it's just part of it. You got to get it because it's part of the whole thing. So I happen to feel like by trying to ban stuff like that, it's another way of being able to rewrite history if you wanted to, because if we get rid of that and we can't teach that, it's like you can say whatever you want then. I mean, they've been doing that. But also what stood out to me is that what he said, the queer thing, like
queer theory,
quote unquote queer theory.
Queer theory.
What that got to do with the Black history?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I guess
saying?
that I really guess that's the question he's asking.
Yeah, he said they're trying to use the AP course to kind of sneak the queer theory in. That's what he called it. I don't know if that's.
But how is that?
I don't know.
Are they talking about both in one? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what are you saying, sir?
Right.
Like, I don't understand what you're saying. Like,
I think
so. You just gonna take away the whole thing?
Yeah,
I think what they're trying to say is. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was the point I was trying to make. Like, I mean, if because we don't know what's in this course, but if they were, saying certain things or going about it a certain way that maybe was not following the lines that maybe Florida has, then that's where I was saying I can understand where maybe the governor was coming from. But if it's not like that, then what's the problem?
I think personally, I think he's politicizing the situation because personally, he's trying to run for president in 2024, and he needs the racist white people's vote. And so he gets a twofer. Not only do they not like black people, they don't like gays either. So, hey, let's discriminate, and some people always talk about there being a gay agenda. And don't get me wrong, I've been guilty of saying this shit in the past too. You know what I'm saying? And the more I see things, the more I learn about things, the more my position sort of shifts on this. And I kind of understand why they're trying to make people aware, because I think like in America, they want to hide shit. Like we was talking about earlier. They don't want to have uncomfortable conversations. So they're uncomfortable about gay folks. So you try to hide them. Oh, go back in the fucking closet. They had a policy in the military. Don't ask, don't tell. It's like you're just trying to hide it instead of fucking confronting it. Like, okay, there are gay people. Like, deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Stop sheltering your fucking kids. And because they're going to have to go out here in the world anyway. What's going to happen when they turn 18 and then they start going out and sneaking to bars and shit, and then no one ain't supposed to be in there? You're going to see all types of shit. And you got access to the internet. You're probably looking at porn. You're probably looking at a whole bunch of shit. I mean, to me, it makes no sense. You're trying to ban it. They're trying to ban books. They ban stories where there's homosexual people in the story, or homosexual, it's two dads. And look, man, I get that side of it, but it's like these situations and these are things that are out here in the real world. So you can't fucking run from it. It's there, whether you want it to be or not. What are you gonna do? Kill all the fucking people you don't agree with? Isn't that what Germany did? So that I'm with you, brothers. None of this shit makes sense to me, and I personally think it's a political angle. I think because he's running against Trump, he's trying to run for president 2024, and he needs to shore up his base. He needs to shore up that make sure he got the ignorant vote on lock.
Is it done?
Look at that Trump thing. I don't know, but I think Trump's gonna take that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be back.
It's very possible.
It's definitely possible. We underestimated his ass last time.
Yeah, that's tough. That's Teflon Don.
Well, we underestimated the type of people that was out there.
Yeah.
He was saying some wild shit while he was running, and we was like, "Oh no, ain't no way."
No.
Yeah, because before it was a bar. Before Trump, there was a standard. If certain shit leak out to the media, you done. After Trump,
that shit's dead.
No standard.
That shit's dead.
I mean,
you can say whatever.
The presidency is dirtied up now.
Yeah,
it's just. I mean, when you look at somebody like a Trump, you looking at somebody who. I like the fact he said what's on his mind, so now we know what's on his mind.
Right.
But we talking about somebody who's just say whatever the fuck, whatever, even if it's wrong. And then we have somebody who also, it's not like he comes from a certain background where it's like dignified. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, how the hell this motherfucker get in here? It's like,
yeah.
Usually we look at a president as somebody who has a certain background.
Right.
Not to say all of it, because they come from a political background.
Yeah,
that they
it was some shady
because a lot of these politicians ain't hitting no shit.
Right.
But this one took the cake. You know what I mean? Like this guy, who is he? What is he supposed to be? He was a developer, right?
Yeah,
that's kind of muddy.
Yeah,
that's kind of muddy.
Yeah.
With the type of things he did, where how the money was involved in
Yeah.
those things. So
Did discrimination? Didn't let
Yeah.
black people
one thing about this country, boy, you got to roll the dice with this shit because it could go anywhere. It could go anywhere.
Well, I'm gonna play this last clip, and this is Ron DeSantis in his own words. So we can kind of hear what he has to say, which yeah, it's not necessarily, but okay.
This course on Black history, what's one of the lessons about? Queer theory. Now, who would say that an important part of Black history is queer theory? That is somebody pushing an agenda on our kids. And so when you look to see they have stuff about intersectionality, abolishing prisons, that's a political agenda. And so that's the wrong side of the line for Florida standards. We believe in teaching kids facts and how to think, but we don't believe they should have an agenda imposed on them. When you try to use Black history to shoehorn in queer theory, you are clearly trying to use that for political purposes. This course.
Okay, now that we see that whole thing,
yeah,
I see what he's trying to say. The news didn't do too well picking the clip that they picked.
And that's exactly why I said, okay, let me find what he actually said.
Yeah, because that's why I was real confused about why he was saying what he's saying. I was like, man, what the hell one got to do with the other? I see what he's saying, and I can't disagree.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Like if it's Black American history, all right, fine, talk about that. And I also feel like it should be separate from the other.
Yeah,
because we seem to be grouped in every time we have any type of anything that's pushing for Black people. We got to group us in with another group of people. Oh, the only way y'all gonna get full rights is if all y'all get it, and not just y'all who been asking for it and putting your life on the line. And
yeah,
not to say gay people don't, but
we'll bunch y'all in with the gay people.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is like I said. Now this really just confirms what I just said. About like if they have a certain curriculum that's not being matched, they're going to just go after it. Now, whatever this gay theory stuff is, or excuse me, queer theory is, and abolishing prisons and things of that nature. Like if they do find it to be a bit more like going off topic a little bit, again, I guess they have the right to. Again, I just still don't understand why the
governor's making these decisions.
Right? Board of Education type dilemma, but yeah, if they feel like it's like that, then that's their call. It's tough.
Yeah, it is. I think one said it though.
He did.
I think he chose that because it was gonna be something. It was gonna generate a buzz.
It's gonna resonate with his base. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would generate a buzz talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, brothers. You should, if you're gonna do this, do them separately. Because the Black struggle is already hard enough for us to get things for us. We've been we've been trying to progress since fucking 1619. So. And again, that's not a shot at any other cause or any other struggle or any other group of folk. And I guess it's history. They learned that. They watched what Black folks did in the civil rights era. We got civil rights bill and a voting bill in 1964, 1965. And so what came after that was they got rid of the stipulations for they got rid of the caps on the immigrants that could come in this country. Like, there can only be a certain amount of Mexicans, a certain amount of Belgians, a certain amount of Polish. You know, they had those limits. They had those caps in that time. And the civil rights era and the civil rights bill and black folks, and it wasn't just black folks in that movement. It was kind of a multicultural thing, but it was mostly black folks. And they seen that, and they took advantage of that. And they like, oh, shit, well, we can ride this wave. Let's ride this wave. Since they passed and shit, hey, let's knock down this barrier too. And I think that's kind of what's at play here today, to where they see black folks trying to give us some semblance of, well, I don't want to say power, but they're trying to give us a little bit more of a piece of the cake. They're trying to in certain instances, but you know, it's just like, it's all incremental. And as we all know, the fuck is people, we live in an age where we want shit now. You know what I'm saying? People got microwave dinners. They don't even cook whole meals half the time. Let me just get some microwave dinner. Or let me run up here to Checkers or McDonald's or some shit. I don't feel like cooking. You know, you want shit now. You know what I'm saying? So that's the age. And it's like that's with us millennials. So it's even worse with the generation after us. So I don't know, man. I don't think they should be trying to, ban, AP. It's clearly, like you said, Rome, it's an AP course, which means you kind of have to elect to do it. You know, that's what you want. Like, why should not? Why? I thought, see, this is what kills me. This is what makes them hypocritical. I thought we would have landed a free. You always preach this freedom and all this freedom and shit. Everybody free to grab a fucking pistol, grab a gun, grab an AR-15, but we ain't free to read books. We ain't free to learn.
So I put it in air quotes. That's air quote freedom.
And then also, too, one thing you could just simply do, if you didn't like certain sections of the course, just remove it or alter it.
Yeah, revise it.
Right.
To remove that part out of it.
For that particular state. I mean, because it was Florida. Yeah. So just for Florida, just remove that certain section and, okay, let's do the rest of the course, you know?
Yeah, why you got to get rid of a whole entire
Because he want to use the queer theory to take out African American studies as well. Like, oh,
exactly. So I said two birds with one stone.
Two birds with one stone.
Exactly. That's smart thinking as far as on his concern, because he want to make sure he gives cool points with his people. You know what I mean? I could do this without have to rumble with black people like that, like or have one, or have a one-on-one with one or the other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're gonna wrap this show up. Is there anything that how can people keep in contact with you, Rome? How can they follow you?
They can definitely follow me at Jerome_MOTC. That's my Instagram. Also, you can just follow me on Facebook, Jerome Washington. Have my author page, my website, jeromewashington.com. Those are definitely my socials. On my Instagram as well as a Linktree link that you can click on my information and stuff like that, which will be in the bio of my Instagram. And so you can keep in contact with me. Or if you really want to email me, like write to me, contact@jeromewashington.com. I check my email every day. So yeah.
All right. That's what's up, man. This was
we appreciate you joining, brother.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Got to come back more often for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
know, man, you coming back when you drop that book, man.
Oh, very soon. Maybe in March. Not maybe. You can make it happen. The book will be dropping in March. Because by the time this episode pops, I will have already talked about it. But definitely when the book is released, I'd love to come back, Oh,
absolutely. You'll definitely be back. Hey man, told you. Reach out to me. Let me know. If I don't reach out to you, anytime you want to hop on, we'll always make room for you, brother.
For sure. So, no problem. Yep.
But
most definitely.
This was a great episode. This is a very, very, very lively discussion. A lot of things were said. Just be safe out there. Like we always say every week, just be safe. Again, we can't predict the future. We don't know what next week's stories are going to be. And we pray that we don't wind up in the news ourselves. So we don't want that kind of attention. So just be safe out there, and we talked about treat people how you want to be treated, and just it like Fly said, starts with you, and just try to be better. Just even start small. Start on something small. I could do this better. I could be better. I could talk to this person better. Or I could just try. It's not hard. Well, I guess it is, but just try anyway. Shit. You know what I'm saying? But
nothing worth having always comes easy.
That's right.
Yeah. So, well, this has been the Uncultured Roots podcast. You can like and subscribe to us on YouTube. You could follow us on the socials. Fly is really good with that. That's not my area of expertise.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
It's
all of us Uncultured Roots. At which one you like to go to, whichever one's your favorite.
Yeah. So well, stay safe, be smooth, and peace out.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace out.